Want to pivot now to the housing market. Could 2026 bring a new wave for the market? National Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett telling Fox News that cabinet members will be meeting with President Trump at Mar-a-Lago after Christmas to discuss a major housing affordability plan. This comes as the president has been considering declaring a national housing emergency. Joining me now to discuss all of this, Dolly Lenz, Real Estate CEO and Managing Director. Dolly and Jenny Lenz. Great to have you both. Merry Christmas, happy holidays.
Thank you.
So first, talk to me about this issue of affordability, because whether it's Gen Z or even a little bit of that millennial generation, they want to buy a home, but it's not affordable. Why is that the buzzword? How do you fix that?
Well, half of America is considered cost burden, meaning that 30% or more of their income goes to housing, right? And this is a huge, huge uptick since before COVID, where prices were 50% cheaper and the average mortgage rate was from 2013 to 2019, 4% versus 6.6% in 2025. However, good news, we think that next year mortgage rates will come down. We're going to see maybe a new Fed chair that's going to lower rates, and they'll be about 6%, which is good news.
So talk to me about that, Dolly, because I hear 5.5% could be the new magic number, right? Where we're like 6.2, 6.5%. It doesn't feel good. We're not going to go back to a 3% mortgage anytime soon. But 5.5 might be this magic number where it's low enough to unlock a little bit of movement, where I'm willing to give up my 3% mortgage because I'm okay with a new 5.5% mortgage on a new property. What do you hear?
Well, hopefully that combined with the Trump administration preparing incentives for people to do it besides that, right? So, for example,
It's rezoning basically federal land to affordable housing. He's proposed maybe a 50-year mortgage.
Exactly. What about a portable mortgage?
Portable mortgage.
I don't think it works.
Yeah.
We went through all the machinations of how it could work, and we don't see it because the banks won't have any asset.
Right, and what's the underlying asset, right? How do you value something? But there are so many things being proposed. This is a worldwide issue. Even the EU just came out with their own first ever housing affordability program, right? So this is really the topic of 2025, and obviously you spend the most money on housing. Your prior segment was about food, right? Whether you order the appetizer or not. This is really, where do you live, right?
And you're bringing up a good problem about supply. That is the issue. That I've been told that demand is what it is. To solve the problem, you either need prices to come down, add new supply to the market. Do you see that relief coming anytime soon?
Well, Jenny always says, build, baby, build. Right. And if we don't do something, even make modular homes, right? You can make things a lot more affordable if you made them in a factory, trucked them over and plopped them somewhere. Right? Or the land, or the federal land that we're talking about. So all kinds of things like that can be done, but obviously that needs the administration to approve and move the regulation out of the way so it can be done.
Right, and to remove regulatory barriers, make it cheaper, streamline it, right? We really do, like you said, need more homes. That's the number one thing. Supply.
And we're thrilled that they're addressing it as almost a level of an emergency.
Right.
Because without that, it's just not going to happen. It hasn't happened till now, and it's not going to happen.
Right.
What are you seeing in this market right now regionally? I was reading a report earlier that the Sun Belt states are starting to see in the rental market, big declines. Does that differ from what the Northeast or my home of California, what's hot, what's not right now?
Well, certainly Texas generally is hot. Dallas is very hot because they're bringing in a stock exchange. Lots of companies are moving there. So all of that makes that wonderful. Palm Beach, which is probably our favorite market in the country, is
Steve Ross is building, 6 million square feet of commercial. He's building millions of square feet of
hospitals. He's bringing in hospitals.
Vanderbilt University.
Right. So he's making it a plug and play package.
Wow.
You come to Palm Beach, we're going to make sure you succeed.
Right.
Final question. Do you have an uptick in all cash buyers, or is it about the same?
I would say it's about the same.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of all cash buyers.
Interesting.
But it's about the same. But one thing we predict for next year is that the stock market is very high.
Yeah.
People will start taking money off the table. They've told us that. And they're going to put it in real estate. They're going to redeploy it into real estate as a diversification of their assets, right? It makes sense. So I think that's going to happen, and that's, again, going to impact supply and demand.
Well, wish you the best of luck in 26.
Thank you so
we
much.
are certainly hopeful that the housing market has more affordability coming online next year. So thank you both for being here.
Thank you.